Hi, I'm Kevin Hyde, and I'd like to go over the Land of the Sky flyer for 2025. This will be the 37th edition of Land of the Sky. First, how do you get there? Go to https://landofthesky.us. From that page, you can click download flyer, and you'll see it as shown there. Notice at the top, the details. It's a heritage event. That means we've been at least 25 years. We've been 37. U.S. Chess Junior Grand Prix. People question that sometimes. That's an event for juniors playing in adult tournaments. So it is not an event for juniors. The dates, January 31st to February 2nd. It is always the weekend before the Super Bowl. And we're offering 30 enhanced Grand Prix points. It will be held at the Crown Plaza Resort, Asheville, and we have anticipated prizes of $11,000 based on getting 210 full-priced entries. We currently have 5 sections this year. Note that they have changed, and only the open section is going to be FIDE rated. But you get 5 rounds. Time control is game in 115 minutes and a 5-second increment. That should be an approximately 4-hour game for the top 3 sections. Bottom 2 sections is game 85 with a 5-second increment, and that should be about a 3-hour game. The prize breakdown for the $11,000. Each section has a large first prize. The entry fees are reduced for the lower sections, and thus the prizes are also reduced. Details on the tournament itself. It's entry fee, $96 for the top sections if you enter early. For under 1,100, it's $48, and under 700, it's only $24. If you're unrated, you can play in any of the bottom 4 sections for only $24, but you're only eligible for the unrated prizes. You'll be playing against the other rated players in the sections, but they'll be competing for the big prizes. There's special prize in each section for the unrated players. If you're under age 18, you can enter for $24, but if you were to win a prize, the prize is going to be donated to Scholastics. So it'll give you a chance to play, but you will not get the money back. If you want to play, you can pay full entry fee, and you'll have a chance to, win the prizes. We accept credit cards, 3.5% added. If you need to have a refund, we'll deduct the 3.5%. Again, the deadline, January 29th, will be the last chance to register for early, fees. After that, each entry fee goes up 12.5%. USCF membership is required to play. Also, North Carolina Chess Association membership is required for North Carolina residents. We do not enforce anything for out-of-state players. You may play up one section, above your rating. And if you happen to be in one of the bottom 2 sections, it's a higher entry fee in the section above, so you would have to pay that. We do not provide sets and pieces, so please bring your own. You can request a half-point buy for any round. You must declare that by round 2. Half-point buy is when you do not play the game at all, but you will get a half a point for, your tournament score. So if you need to go somewhere or don't want to play as many games in a day, no harm at all. Just let us know, and we will not pair you for that round and continue for the next. Last chance to register. Be 6 p.m. for the Friday round, which is at 7, or 8 a.m. if you want to play the first round Saturday at 9 a.m. Or you can register by 1 p.m. on Saturday and get a half point for the round that you missed. And again, you then start at 2. It was sort of funny. Somebody asks, we advertised first round either 7 p.m. Friday or 9 a.m. They wrote and said, when will you decide when the first round will be? The answer is it's both. You can choose to play in either one. And in a moment, I'll talk about reentry, but if you play the Friday night and lose or draw, you can pay a fee and reenter and play again round one on the Saturday morning round. That is not available in the open section. FIDE does not like to see your name listed twice on the cross table. Other tournaments that do that have a faster time control that is not FIDE rated in the morning. Ours is the same time control as everything, and so the Saturday morning round one is FIDE rated. So we do not allow FIDE players to re-enter. A change from lots of other tournaments is that you can only be 30 minutes late before you forfeit. That's what they call the default time. So please make it there on time, and certainly do not be any later than 30 minutes, because at that point your opponent will have won by forfeit. Cell phones can be kept in a bag, or it can, laptop or anything can be with you if they're powered off. Obviously, you cannot use them during the game, but you are allowed to bring them into the tournament room, in a powered off state. Hotel only $113, which is a reasonable rate because we're in the middle of winter in Nashville. That said, if you don't register early and they're going to release the blocks to the public on January 10th, we have negotiated that we can continue to offer that $113 rate until all the rooms are gone. However, you'll call in and say, oh, it's not there. So if you have a problem getting the $113 rate, email us at info@landofthesky.us. We will give you a direct phone number to the people we work with, and they'll be able to get you the hotel room rate. Blitz tournament will be Saturday morning, 10 o'clock. We do a round robin based on the number of people that are there. We'll decide, how it breaks, but we pay 100% in the entry fees. This will be rated this year, and the top section will be FIDE rated. And if you look on the website, there's a link to, how we're deciding what players. But basically, the priority will be to the first 5 players that have a FIDE Blitz rating. We do that because the non-rated players need to meet the FIDE rated players in order to get a rating. And then from there, it'll be, top down by rating to get it. Here's the reentry, only $12. Also, you look at the fine print on a lot of them. So the $12 counts as an eighth of an entry. The $48 entry fee counts as a half of an entry. And so we're just feeding back the entry fees proportional to the top section, expensive entry fees, and the prizes will be based on that. The pairings that we use, it'll be the February ratings, even though it starts January 31st, we'll be using the February ratings. And the system used, it's an accelerated system in all the sections. For the FIDE, that's called the Baku accelerations. The lower ones, it's just WinTD with the declared cut to keep it fair between the Saturday night and Friday morning sections. So if you're above the cut, you'll play each other. If you're below the cut, you'll play each other. And then on Saturday afternoon, the winners from above the cut will play each other. The losers from above the cut will play winners from below the cut. If you are coming with club members, part of a club or your school, if you want to request an avoidance of pairings in the lower 4 sections, please let us know and we can code that into the computer and it will avoid it. Again, it's our discretion, no shenanigans to say that, I'm on a team with the top 5 people, so that you can avoid having to play them. But if you're legitimately traveling, we want you to have a good experience, and we will do our best to give you players that you haven't played before. Again, the details are, if you want to mail it, the address is there, save you the 3.5%. And the website itself during the tournament will have the pairings and the standings. And please email us anywhere at all. This last slide is kind of interesting. It has the rating distribution. The top half of it is who came in 2024. Note that the peak is, in the 15, 16, 1700 area. That's where most of the players are. The bottom one is a line graph of, the last, I think it was 10 or 15 years. Again, showing that, okay, this is for the class A, B players are the, predominant people that come to the tournament, and we're proud of that. If you'll also look on the website, there's a link to Land of the Sky regulations, and that has a few, tournament differences that we have. And just to go over that, this was an interesting one. The very first one, I added it this year. I was directing at a FIDE event, and there was a complaint that said, hey, my opponent's moving before, I hit my clock. And I told the opponent, please wait for the person to hit their clock. I was then corrected, and indeed, the FIDE rules make a distinction that your move is made once you've released the piece, and your opponent is then free, whether or not you hit the clock. US chess rules are, and again, there's interpretation in the FIDE rules, but what we're enforcing at the tournament is you have to wait for your opponent to hit the clock before it's your turn and you make the move. That's US chess standard procedure. Also, there'll be exceptions made if it's the, time scramble at the end. Yes, we understand you're, making moves fast, and if you get into that, that's okay. Also, if your opponent just forgets to hit the clock, you are allowed to, point at the clock and say, do you want to hit the, or don't talk to them, but it's there, or you can make a move. If you don't notice it, it's still okay for you to make a move after a long time and then hit the clock, and, it'll continue to be their time. Our time control does not worry about move count, so that's okay. But if you're in another tournament, please be aware that if you do that, you're now behind a move on your clock, so you will not be getting the increment time if you do it that way. Electronic notation, not at all allowed in the open section, which is FIDE. If you have a US Chess approved device, that's okay in the bottom 4 sections. We would like to collect the game sheet from just one game from every prize winner. We're trying to publish the games, and that's what we'd like to get. So we don't want every game, but we just want the best games. Another variation, you are allowed to go to the bathroom on your own time. Again, the normal rule is you have to go to the bathroom on your opponent's time. Well, we're not going to get into approval. If you got to go, you got to go, and I'm not concerned. That said, you cannot bring anything into the bathroom with you, at all. That's sort of the intent, is to avoid cheating because it's your move. Let me go study what I'm supposed to do. But we're here to play chess. We do allow spectators, so if you have friends or family members that want to come watch, that's okay. Again, they have to be quiet and not have any electronic devices on as well. You may not have a smartwatch or personal music player. However, you can have noise canceling headphones or fitness trackers. Those are electronic devices, but if we look at it and, okay, there's no way to communicate with them, then that is allowed. Again, if you want to have them switched off in your bag, that's totally fine. Some of the rules call for a forfeit. We're reserving the right to just give you a warning. For instance, if you walk into the room and your cell phone happens to go off before you even sit down to play, well, we'll give you some grace, and please turn off your cell phone. You are subject to inspection for electronic devices by entering the tournament. So if we have a suspicion, you have given us, by entering the tournament, we, may inspect you if we believe there's reason for cheating. We will not use tie breaks. All the cash will just be split evenly according to US chess rules. And if you don't have a clock with an increment or delay, then you should add 5 minutes to the base time before you start. Again, that's a variation from standard procedure where they've ruled that we do not adjust the clocks, but for this tournament, we will. Again, masks are optional, in terms of COVID, and knock on wood, we hope there's no reoccurrences of things like that. Lastly, I went over the pairings, how it is, but just, understand on the second and again the third round in the open, the way the accelerated ones, you're going to have people mismatched tournament points playing against each other. It should be a higher rated person with a low score playing a lower rated player with a higher score. That sort of gives a better chance to play somebody against your own, close to your rating, or it eliminates perfect scores faster, assuming the higher rated players beat the lower rated ones, even though they're having a bad tournament at the top. And again, thank you very much. We appreciate your attention. And again, watch our YouTube videos. We are intending to publish a lot of games the way I'm doing it, just to, let it scroll through with Stockfish doing the analysis. And I hope I get to see you at the tournament. Send any questions to info@landofthesky.us, and we'll see you there. Thank you very much.